What's up, y'all? Back with another video. Today I'm gonna give you all a little quick topic I've been watching. It seems like everybody's been watching these last few weeks, last few months, maybe even the last few years. It's probably one of the people that I looked up to early in my business career, just because of his ideals about ownership, being a boss, and other things like that. And as you can tell by the title and probably the thumbnail of the video, it's Dame Dash, founder of Rockefeller, Damon Dash Studios, Rachel Roy, I want to say Rock Films maybe, and a few other businesses that we've probably either heard of or consumed some of their product. Um, so over the last few months, we've watched him talk about a variety of issues. I think the idea of the culture vulture really started picking up steam after his interview on the Breakfast Club with DJ Envy, where he got into a little bit of a, I won't say an argument, but um, a debate with the Breakfast Club about ownership, about taking back, what you own and building something of your own and not working for anybody else. He works with someone named Kenyatta Griggs on who's the hip hop motivator on Instagram. He also has a lot of content out about different business ideals. And him and Dame was working on the book Culture Vultures, if you guys didn't know, which is about you know those things I just spoke about. Ownership, taking back what you own, and not letting people abuse you and take advantage of your talents or your product. A lot of us supported that movement, stood behind it, understood it, tried to embody it through different means. Um, and what we've seen over the last few weeks is somewhat what we thought was a change in tone. Um, Dame talked about people like Leor Cohen, Steve Stout, and others who are not part of the hip hop culture, actually, taking advantage of younger artists. And what we saw last, I want to say a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, is Dame actually apologized to these people in a somewhat kind of eerie video. He's sitting in the dark uh, under a hat and says a brief apology. A lot of people looked at this kind of funny just because it was, a day or so after the Rock Nation brunch, where his former business associates were, celebrating and had a lot of pictures and things like that. And Dame seems like a person who enjoys the attention, so a lot of us thought maybe that was the reason for him to come out and apologize. Um, I've always, well, I haven't always, I've been following Dame on Instagram and watching him as he builds his Damon Dash TV network up from the ground up on YouTube, which is basically like a 24-hour programming channel where he just provides all type of content from his studio, I believe, out in California. Um, but as of late, it's after the apology and even before it, it just seems like Dame is kind of flying off the handle. Losing his sanity almost. He doesn't seem to be in the best mental state. He seems to be agitated often. He seems to be arguing all the time. And we're just wondering, as people who supported him, who's bought his book, who's had a lot of support for him in the past. We are wondering what's going on. So a lot of his videos, he talks about being a boss now, and it's kind of getting to the point where it's repetitive and almost, I don't know, detrimental to his legacy, I would say. You know, um, we're wondering what's going on. Is something wrong with him as far as, is something outside of business bothering him? He seems to be drinking, smoking a lot more often, doing things that we didn't always see him do in the past. And it makes a lot of us question and wonder, what's going on. When he did make the apology to Leor Cohen and Steve Stout, he didn't really consult with his business partner who he wrote the book with, Kenyatta Griggs. He basically went out rogue on that and just decided to apologize for something that he's pretty much been standing for the last few years. He later followed that up with a video saying that that apology was personal and that no one has the right to tell him what to do or to judge him for it, which is actually true. But if it's a personal apology, you should do it personally. You should actually call that person, meet that person, send them an email, something, so that people won't have that opinion on it. When you're making all of these things public, people are going to have an opinion. That's what public is for. If you have something to add to or to talk about privately that you don't want the public to voice their opinion on, then you need to do it privately. And just watching a lot of his Instagram stories, he doesn't seem to be in the best spirits. He seems to kind of be all over the place mentally, and it just goes to show that money and power and things like that can sometimes, well, often are not what makes people happy. He doesn't seem like he's happy at this point. I just got off Instagram a moment ago, saw that he had made a post about buying back the Rachel Roy Company, which he says is $100 million fashion brand. He's now, what he says is, or he's going to be the 100% owner of the fashion brand, and hopefully pass it down to his children, which is a good thing. So he's really railing against even his own community, people who have supported him, who just want more information about why he's changing his tone on certain subjects. And I think he owes people that. If we're going out supporting him, buying his book, doing different things like that, then if we want to say what's going on with this, he should have the wherewithal to jump out and say what's actually going on, and not kind of tell people to mind their own business when you're making it a public issue. When you've made it a public issue in the past, you didn't keep it privately, and now when people want to say what's up with this, you really want to go against them. So yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on Dame Dash. I'm glad that he's bought his company back that he started from the beginning. I guess somewhere along the line he gave up ownership, or it was purchased from him or taken from him in some manner. But it looks like he's getting back into that business now. What he claims to be is 100% ownership, and I think that's a beautiful thing. Hopefully that brings him some type of peace as far as his life, because everything is not all about business. It's a lot about family. It's about happiness. It's about living. Entrepreneurship is just part of the journey for a lot of us, and hopefully, he has more positive days ahead. Watching the stories is kind of sad. It's kind of cringy to see a lot of the things that's going on, and hopefully, getting back ownership of one of the major companies he started in the past gives him some sort of solace, going forward. But Dame Dash is still someone that you have to listen to, that you should take some of his ideals and principles from at least. But just like the rest of us, he's a flawed individual. He has issues where he may say things that aren't right. He may say things that rub people the wrong way. He may have perspectives that don't totally make sense. And he may say things just to protect himself in the moment. So if you don't follow him on Instagram, you might want to check it out. He's building a TV network, which is something which is admirable, which is something probably a lot of us would hope to get to at some point. But hopefully it comes with happiness as well, because it's not just all about business. It's not just all about being a boss. It's really an important thing. But you want to be a boss, and you also want to be happy. So shout out to Dame Dash. Shout out to Kenyatta Griggs. Hope Dame takes it, gets the ownership of Rachel Roy back and takes it to new levels. Grows the company and becomes even more successful than what he is now. So that's just my thoughts on Dame Dash. It's something that's we're gonna have to keep, we have to keep an eye on. Hopefully, if someone in his circle sees what I see, hopefully they reach out to him and get him maybe some help that he needs going forward. So yeah, if y'all enjoyed the video, definitely hit the like button, subscribe, share. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. If you are a fan of Dame Dash, if you were a fan of Rockefeller in the past, let me know what y'all think, and I'd like to hear from y'all. All right, peace.